Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Of course, you remember your judges, critic Jerry Saltz, Jeannie Greenberg-Rowatin, art advisor and gallerist.
Hi.
Gallery owner Bill Powers.
Hello.
And we have a special guest this week, artist and author Jonathan Santlofer.
Hi, it's good to see you.
Your challenge was to create cover art for a classic novel, and the winner will have their cover published by Penguin. Judges, let's see how they did.
Let's go.
It's got a mixture of the mechanical and the organic.
Yeah.
Kind of what you were going for.
Perfect, yeah.
This gallery show is different because there's the constraint of doing justice to a piece of literature.
You have this kind of weird, witchy DNA strand.
I wish this would have related to the book somehow.
I think that the judges, they're going to like it because I did something different, and there's a lot of creativity within that.
I like that you can remove this, and it has little Eat Me biscuit inside.
It's sort of like real art. I don't know that it's like a real book cover.
I just think it's weak. Do you?
I agree.
Now that I see the piece installed in the gallery, I think it looks really good, and I can really paint well with water media.
I'm here in this competition for opportunities like the Penguin Challenge. That's why I'm in, for more exposure to really make a career out of my artwork.
It has this unfolding quality.
And it has these brighter colors.
Yeah, and you would be drawn to it.
I'm pretty pleased about the way that people are responding to my work. I feel like everything that I intended to get across did get across.
I think the lettering's great. I think the image is good. I don't think they have anything to do with each other.
At first, I was kind of happy with my piece, but now seeing it at the gallery, it looks kind of sad up on the wall.
I'm fine with my piece, but it's not kicking my ass across the gallery.
Interesting, this little teddy bear.
The weird
I wouldn't associate that with the
and
time
a sailboat and a crab.
This might be like the Little Mermaid.
I think my book cover captured the upshot of the story, and I think it also sort of modernized the tale.
Pride and Prejudice.
I don't know if this is going to jump off the shelf.
I don't know either.
So few people have made the text really big, and all the artwork should be in service of the title.
I should have stuck with it as graphic image and left it at that. I felt like it was a missed opportunity, and I'm very sad about it.
That doesn't work in terms of book design.
I feel real good, especially when I see my piece hang in the gallery with the proper lighting on it. If I could win this challenge, I think it would give me more confidence thinking I can win the whole competition.
I always look to see right away how my piece looks. And it looked a lot neater and more graphic and interesting, I thought. I didn't just go literally and do a book cover.
Jane Austen.
And the book would be?
Well, clearly the book is Edderp and Edderp.
One of my favorites.
Oh, Judith.
It's neat how the blood forms the backbone of the D of Dracula.
Yeah.
I think I've done enough with my image to be ranked towards the top. Above all else, I think my design is professional and clean and book cover-like.
What do you look for in a book cover?
Simplicity is often important because, you know, we're all in bookstores and we're looking at a table of 40 books, and the thing that pops out at us is the thing we're going to pick up and say, oh, this is sort of interesting.
Catherine, thank you so much for your input.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
We'd like to see the following artists for the crit. John. Judith, Peregrine, Mark, and Jacqueline. If I didn't call your name, you're safe and can move on to the next challenge. You can say goodnight to your peers. Okay, John, let's start with your piece.
I was thinking, what would my time machine look like if I was H.G. Wells? And this is what I came up with.
What I like about it is that it does look like the way a human head might look in the years 702,801.
And I like that there's action in the title, and you feel that pull to the right.
I think the small ladder, though, is a kind of great touch because it is the thing that pulls you in to say, well, what is this thing?
Thank you. Now, I'm guessing that you had Pride and Prejudice based on the author's name. What language is this in?
It's Ederp Isidujerp. Well, actually, it reads Pride and Prejudice backwards.
It's really not a good thing to make your public and your reader feel stupid. And I felt a little stupid, like, how come I don't know what language this is?
I'm a fine artist. I don't design on assignment. I work with words and text.
So you're special compared to everybody else?
No, I'm just me.
What you did is you defaulted to something that you love to do, which is to write backwards.
In terms of just sheer beautiful, I have not seen pink look so drab in a long time.
Well, thank you, Judith. Mark, why don't you tell us about your Dracula?
I thought it was important to make the image as contemporary as possible and not cliched. Even though Dracula is a cliche at this point, with the blood, with the black and white.
Number one, it's the most commercial work that's here, and that was the challenge.
I love how the posture of him is rather erotic.
I think he is an erotic image. I think, in a way, it could have been almost cooler with less blood, and you just could have had the line of blood doing the D coming down. It would have been an even more sophisticated, less pulpy cover for me.
But this is a very direct cover for Dracula.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I thought it was a little serendipitous that I got this book because it contains stories about very morally ambiguous characters. That's something I'm very concerned with in my own work.
I actually want to get to you taking a picture of yourself and coming up with that.
The reason I didn't just use the photograph was because I feel that ink wash is a very seductive medium.
But on the other hand, the semi-nude picture of yourself would have had so much more moral ambiguity and so much more cutting edge.
I think you wanted to show yourself and you backed out. And what you left us with is something generic, and that's a problem.
Why did you not double check the spelling of the author's name before you wrote it?
Oh gosh, I'm so embarrassed.
It's Austin with an E, not an I.
Wow, I don't even know what to say.
Judith, you had the same book as Jacqueline. What do you think about her piece?
I just feel like the drawing approach and then the application of the paint seems really not skilled at all.
Thank you. Peregrine, will you please tell us about your Time Machine cover?
I really wanted to create something that would have a little bit of depth. It would be photographed and there would be shadow behind it, and that would be the image of the cover.
Peregrine, as a book cover for the Time Machine, it's a complete failure. I think that you've made a very elegant, interesting looking object that has nothing to do with the book.
The Time Machine is the classic science fiction novel, and you don't read sci-fi anywhere in this image.
This cutesy wallpaper. We're trying to get the reader to pick your book up. Wallpaper is what fades out behind us.
Thank you very much, Peregrine. We have plenty to discuss. You can head back up to the studio until we call you back. Thank you.
I really want you to think about, like, you know, what you could have done differently and to stop, you know, it's just, they're just trying to, like, teach you to to, I don't know, push you to question why you do things.
Okay, how did the artist do this week?
This was really a relevant challenge to these artists. Artists doing jacket art for novels.
Picasso did it, Miro did it. It was a sort of honorable thing for an artist to do, to sort of collaborate to make a beautiful, beautiful book cover.
Okay, let's talk about some of our favorites.
Mark was one of the few people in this challenge to integrate the text and the image.
We all love the photograph. We all love how he treated that.
It definitely draws you in. The doors are open. There's this kind of sexy fellow holding this stuff.
It jumps out at you. As soon as I saw it, I thought, that's a book cover. What about John's piece?
What I like about John in The Time Machine is he gave us this head from the planet Pineapple, and he's calling it The Time Machine, and I'm looking at it thinking, okay.
It's instantly arresting. I'm very much in love with the little ladder because it's this little quirky touch that changes an abstraction into a thing, which is something I love.
What do we think about Jacqueline's Pride and Prejudice?
I am seeing her in a live model drawing class in middle school.
And come on, you can't misspell the author's name. If you can't get Jane Austen's name right, I mean, I don't know how you can defend your piece.
Judas.
You know, when you're doing a cover and you turn the title backwards, it just made me cringe.
When you look at it, you don't know that it's for Pride and Prejudice. I think it's just her way of saying, I'm not going to play.
And I'm all for breaking the rules, but if you're gonna break them, show up with something that's more interesting.
Let's talk about Peregrine's Time Machine.
I always thought The Time Machine was a dark novel, and this is the first time I've ever seen it as a sort of a happy, peppy, let's go to the petting zoo.
It is not a fairy tale.
Just burn this, you know. I mean, it looks like an arts and crafts project. Get rid of it.
Okay, I think we've made all our decisions. John, Mark, you both created cover art as engaging as the words on the page. But there can only be one winner. Congratulations. John, you made a true work of art. That means that your book will be published by Penguin and sold nationwide. That is quite an honor.
That's wild. My dad's a librarian, historian, so I have a big history with books. To have one of my designs grace the cover, I'm overjoyed.
Congratulations, John. It's a terrific cover. It's got that thing that's going to pull people in right across the room.
Thank you.
Thank you both. You can head up to the studio, and please send your colleagues down.
Ladies, I told you. Here's the winner.
Congratulations! Well, come in for the hug anyway. We don't want to leave it out.
Oh, no, he deserves it. He deserves it.
But now the bad news.
We have to go downstairs.
The judges would like to see the three of you downstairs.
Good luck, ladies.
The art world is fickle. Your work would put these classics out of print.
Jacqueline, it sounds like you started it out to give us something special, but it ended up as a cliche.
Peregrine, you were given an exciting sci-fi adventure, and you gave us a dull fairy tale.
Judith, both as a painting and as a book cover, your piece fell short.
Jacqueline, Judith, Peregrine, one of you is leaving us tonight. Judith, your work of art didn't work for us. It's time for you to go.
Well, I I guess I just wasn't able to adapt to the situation. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Judith. Yeah.
I'll see you on the Lower East Side.
I will probably, sweeping the sidewalk. I am disappointed about leaving. Why? Maybe I didn't really belong in this kind of situation, away from, my own process. I am an established art maker, and my life is about making art. I wouldn't have thought that my piece would be the one to send me home. Jacqueline's piece stayed. I mean, please.
Next, on Work of Art.
I'm really excited that we get to see work by Andre Serrano.
He took a crucifix and put it in a jar of his own piss.
We want you to create your own shocking piece of art.
I want to make a work that would shock myself.
I feel that we end up objectifying ourselves.
I have some news that may come a bit of a shock to you.
Wow. So because you shout out all the time?
Don't ask me for advice.
I think that's a bag of
Oh. I don't smell anything.
To learn more about Work of Art, The Next Great Artist, visit BravoTV.com.
Matches, pretty matches.